In this lesson, we're going to cover wireless security setting. Wireless networks have become a big part of modern life by providing us with convenient and flexible access to the internet. However, these wireless networks can also present some unique security challenges, so we need to look at the importance of using the right wireless security settings, including the use of WPA3 or other forms of wireless encryption, AAA, and radius for creating additional layers of authentication on a network, and the use of the Extensible Authentication Protocol known as EAP. First, let's review some of the most common forms of wireless encryption, including WEP or WEP, WPA, WPA2, and the most secure form of the wireless encryption, WPA3. Wireless encryption and cryptographic protocols are an important part of wireless security since they provide us with the algorithms that we can use to encrypt any data being sent over our wireless networks to ensure that it's unreadable to anyone who might try to intercept it. This provides us with confidentiality in our networks. The first form of wireless encryption was known as WEP. WEP, also known as Wired Equivalent Privacy, was released in 1999 as part of the original IEEE 802.11 standard, and is considered to be an outdated wireless network security standard that aimed to provide a wireless local area network with the equivalent level of security and privacy when compared against what is usually expected of a wired local area network. WEP, or WEP, employs a static encryption key system where devices on the same network use the same key to encrypt and decrypt messages. Wired equivalent privacy encryption keys come in two main sizes, 64-bit and 128-bit. The 64-bit WEP key is typically 40 bits of actual key data with an additional 24 bits of an initialization vector added to it, while the 128-bit WEP key is composed of 104 bits of key data, again with an additional 24 bits of initialization vector. The use of a longer key in the 128-bit WEP was intended to offer stronger security, but both have been proven to be easily compromised with modern techniques. This system is fundamentally flawed because with enough data traffic to analyze, especially with tools that automate this process, an intruder can often reconstruct the key, leading to unauthorized network access. Furthermore, due to its reliance on the weak and vulnerable RC4 encryption algorithm, WEP is susceptible to relatively straightforward cryptographic attacks, so it is considered to be an insecure option for wireless security and should no longer be used. When you hear about WEP, I want you to remember that it is considered insecure because of a weak 24-bit initialization vector that modern laptops can crack in just about 3 minutes for almost every WEP-based network. WEP was then replaced by WPA or Wi-Fi Protected Access in 2003 as an interim security enhancement over the flawed WEP while the IEEE 802.11i wireless security standard was being developed. WPA aimed to correct the pitfalls of WEP and provide stronger security measures for wireless networks. WPA was designed to improve upon WEP's encryption mechanisms by implementing a temporal key integrity protocol known as TKIP, which dynamically generates a new 128-bit key for each packet and thus prevents the key reuse vulnerabilities associated with WEP. However, while WPA was a significant step forward, it still inherited some of WEP's vulnerabilities due to having been initially designed as a patch for the existing WEP networks already in use by enterprises around the world. Although it was considered to be more secure than WEP at the time of its release, WPA's own vulnerabilities, particularly those within the TKIP, quickly became apparent, and this makes WPA susceptible to certain forms of cryptographic attacks and emphasizes the need for further advancements in wireless security protocols. When you hear about WPA, I want you to remember that it's considered insecure because of the lack of sufficient data integrity checks in the TKIP implementation. So when the 802.11i standard was introduced in 2004, a replacement for WPA called WPA2 or Wi-Fi Protected Access 2 was released. WPA2 brought a new level of data protection and network access control to wireless networks by rectifying many of the weaknesses observed in the older and more vulnerable WPA implementation. While WPA2 replaced WPA's TKIP with the Advanced Encryption Standard or AES protocol, and it also began utilizing the CCMP as a more robust encryption mechanism. The real name for CCMP is the Counter Cipher Mode with Blockchaining Message Authentication Code Protocol, but most people simply refer to it as CCMP in the real world. By shifting to WPA2, we receive not only stronger encryption, but also new integrity checking feature called the Message Integrity Code, or MIC. However, despite these advancements, WPA2 eventually showed vulnerabilities as well, such as with the crack attack in 2016, which demonstrated that even the most robust security protocols can become susceptible to threats over time. And this brings us to our more secure and most modern implementation of wireless security and encryption, known as WPA3. WPA3, or Wi-Fi Protected Access 3, is the latest version, and it continues to use AES for encryption while adding new features, including the simultaneous authentication of equals, enhanced, open, updated cryptographic protocols, and the use of management protection frames. The simultaneous authentication of equals, or SSID, provides a new key establishment protocol to replace the older pre-shared key method used in WPA2 to provide us with better protection against offline dictionary attacks. The simultaneous authentication of equals replaced the four-way handshake authentication and association mechanisms of WPA with a protocol that is based on the Diffie-Hellman key agreement. This means that even if an attacker captures the data necessary to form the cryptographic handshake in WPA3, they still cannot use that data to perform an offline attack to guess the network password. WPA3 provides several improvements over the older WPA2 protocol, including offering more robust protections even if the user chooses a weak, simple, or short password. WPA3 also simplifies the process of configuring security for devices that have limited or no display interfaces. The second feature added to WPA3 is Enhanced Open. Enhanced Open, also known as Opportunistic Wireless Encryption, or OWE, presents a significant step forward in wireless security, particularly for networks that utilize the open authentication method. In traditional open Wi-Fi networks, data is sent over the air unencrypted, which makes it easier for eavesdroppers to capture your sensitive information while it's being transmitted over the network. Enhanced Open improves upon this by providing individualized data encryption between the user device and the Wi-Fi access point, even where there is no authentication such as password protection being required to join the network. The Enhanced Open method enhances user privacy and security since it protects against passive eavesdropping attacks that are common in public Wi-Fi scenarios. While it doesn't offer full-fledged security like WPA3, Enhanced Open helps to ensure that the connection between clients and access points are encrypted. Enhanced Open also provides a more secure connection than traditional open networks, so it is a valuable feature for network providers who offer public Wi-Fi services to their end users. The third feature we need to cover in WPA3 is the use of updated cryptographic protocols. In WPA3, the older AES-CCMP used in WPA2 is replaced with a newer variant of AES known as the AES-GCMP, or Galois Counter Mode Protocol. This protocol not only supports the 128-bit AES algorithm for your personal networks, but also supports a 192-bit AES for the use in enterprise or personal networks with the WPA3 protocol. The fourth and final feature of WPA3 we need to cover is the use of management frame protection. These management protection frames are required to be used in order to safeguard your network against key recovery attacks. This security mechanism ensures the integrity of network management traffic by preventing eavesdropping, forging, or tampering with these type of frames, which are critical for the overall management and maintenance of wireless communications. In prior protocols, these frames were transmitted unsecured, leaving them vulnerable to various forms of cyber attacks, including denial of service attacks. By enforcing their protection, WPA3 enhances network stability and user security, ensuring that attackers cannot disrupt the network by manipulating the traffic essential for maintaining wireless connections. This represents another layer of defense, fortifying the network, especially in dense, complex environments where such attacks can be very disruptive. Another important wireless security setting to consider is the use of AAA protocols like Radius or TACAS+. These protocols are pivotal in managing network security by facilitating the centralization of user authentication to ensure that only authorized individuals can access the network resources. Implementing such protocols is fundamental in creating a robust security infrastructure, especially in environments where sensitive data is transmitted over networks and stringent compliance requirements is a must. Radius, or the Remote Authentication Dial-In User Service, serves as a networking protocol that operates on a client-server model that provides comprehensive authentication, authorization, and accounting services, or AAA services, to your network's users. Radius is widely used in an enterprise environment to enable secure access to your network resources by authenticating users through a centralized server that can validate users' identities and grant appropriate access based on predefined policies. Additionally, Radius facilitates the monitoring of user activity to ensure that accountability and the enforcement of security policies is occurring. On the other hand, we have TACACS Plus, or Terminal Access Controller Access Control System Plus, is another powerful protocol designed to provide a similar range of AAA services. Unlike Radius, TACACS Plus separates the functions of authentication, authorization, and accounting to allow for a more granular control over these processes. This level of separation permits the distinct handling of each component across different servers. Also, TACACS Plus employs the transmission control protocol while encrypting the entire authentication process to enhance its security compared to the older AAA protocols. The final wireless security settings that we need to cover are the various authentication protocols you may come across in the real world. Authentication protocols are used to verify the identity of users trying to access a network, and they are a crucial aspect of network security that ensures that only authorized individuals can access the network. Some examples of authentication protocols include EAP, PEAP, EAP TTLS, and EAP Fast. EAP, or the Extensible Authentication Protocol, is an authentication framework that supports multiple authentication methods. EAP provides common functions and negotiation of authentication protocols and is used in wireless networks and point-to-point connections. While EAP is not a specific protocol by itself, it is used to define the message formats and the overall process that will be used by each specific EAP authentication method. PEAP, or the Protected Extensible Authentication Protocol, is an authentication protocol that encapsulates EAP within a potentially encrypted and authenticated transport layer security, or TLS tunnel. PEAP was jointly developed by Cisco Systems, Microsoft, and RSA Security as a method to transport authentication data securely via 802.11 Wi-Fi networks. EAP TTLS, or Extensible Authentication Protocol, Tunnel Transport Layer Security, is an authentication protocol that extends TLS support across multiple platforms. The main difference between PEAP and EAP TTLS is that EAP TTLS requires a certificate only on the server side, while PEAP requires dual-sided certificate authentication to occur on both server and the client side of the connection. With EAP TTLS, the protocol will encapsulate a second protocol for authentication that is carried inside the TLS encryption tunnel. EAP Fast, or the Extensible Authentication Protocol, Flexible Authentication via Secure Tunneling, is an authentication protocol developed by Cisco Systems that allows users to re-authenticate securely when roaming within a network without having to perform full authentication every single time. EAP Fast uses protected access credentials to establish a TLS tunnel in which client credentials are verified. EAP Fast was created as a replacement for lightweight EAP called LEAP, which had several security vulnerabilities associated with it. Each of these extensible authentication protocols has its own strengths and weaknesses, and the choice between them depends on the specific requirements of the network and resources available. So remember, as wireless networks continue to expand in popularity, it is important that we learn the best ways to secure those networks, including using WPA3 or other forms of wireless encryption, AAA, and Radius for creating additional layers of authentication on the network, and the use of the Extensible Authentication Protocol known as EAP. WPA3 is the latest and most secure version of the Wi-Fi Protected Access, or WPA protocol, and it is used to provide us with the most robust protections even when users choose passwords that fall short of typical complexity recommendations. Radius is a networking protocol that provides centralized authentication, authorization, and accounting management for users who connect and use a network service, while TACACS Plus is a separate protocol that allows for more granular control over authentication, authorization, and accounting that offers some advanced security by encrypting the entire authentication process. EAP, or the Extensible Authentication Protocol, is a universal authentication framework used to support various authentication methods such as token cards, smart cards, certificates, and others in wireless networks and point-to-point connections. By embracing these advanced protocols and methodologies, we can better empower our wireless networks with a more secure infrastructure that is designed to withstand modern threat actors by ensuring that both user authenticity and data integrity are protected in our wireless networks.